Going to talk about the S1R Baton Olight flashlight. So this light is obviously, given its size, is really geared towards EDC, and EDC, well, it does. It does a lot of things good. There is one hang-up. We'll talk about that as we go through this review, but first let's look at the overall construction of this thing. There's your light switch on and off. You've got a removable clip. You've got some knurling here and here on the tail cap. You see it's kind of dirty right now. I've been carrying this a lot. And with Olight, if it has an R in the model name, that means it's rechargeable. And this clip actually stays on quite well. It's kind of an anti-roll, or I don't know if an anti-roll, but it minimizes the roll that you may have due to the construction right here, which is nice because I hate setting flashlights on a desk and they just and they roll off. Charging port right here. This is the charging port. Now what I really like about the way this charges is the magnetic bottom. So the magnetic bottom here, and then the charging base is also magnetic. You can see it's got a green light to show that it's got power to it. It is a USB connection, which I like because we all have USBs everywhere these days. But to get these two to connect, I love it, man. I set this on my nightstand, and when I come home, I'm getting ready for bed, all I do is this. You see it's red, indicating that it's charging, but that's how easy it is. I love the way, I know it's simple, but I just love the way that connects. That easy, and we're charging. So this is a 10 by 14 foot room, and that is 5 lumens. So you can kind of see there, up a little closer, just to give you something to look at, one of my Benchmades. Next up, by pressing and holding, that's 12 lumens. Press and hold again, that's 60 lumens. Camera needs to adjust a little bit to it. Press and hold again, there's 300 lumens. Now from here, or if you turn the flashlight off and double click, that is 600 lumens. And if you double click again while on 600, that gives you 900 lumens. So it really lights up the room for a very, very small package. And then of course, you have 3 quick presses and you go into strobe mode. In addition to the settings I just showed you, it also has some timer settings. So when the light is on, if you double press and hold on this second press, this first round we should get 2 blinks. 1 blink, excuse me. That means the timer is going to be set for 3 minutes and the light will shut off. If we double press, hold on the second press, the second time it blinks twice, which means the light is going to stay on for 9 minutes. There's a red light behind this button, so when the battery gets really low, it will glow red, so it gives you an idea that, hey, you're low, you need to recharge me. Battery in this is an RCR123A. That's a rechargeable battery, and I'm really leaning towards the rechargeables for EDCs. I love the fact that I don't have to buy a bunch of specialty batteries. I can just recharge it as needed. Now there are some downsides to that as well. If that's the only battery you have and you're out, but you're out backpacking, you're out camping or something, and you forgot to bring your recharger or something of that nature, you don't have an extra battery on you, well, you're kind of sunk. So there's pluses and minuses to it. For me, with an EDC light, overall, there are huge pluses to it. In addition to that, because I bring so much camera gear when I backpack or I go out hunting or something, I'm always bringing some sort of power bank. So if all I bring is this, I've got a power bank that I could use to plug that into and recharge this on the go pretty much wherever, as long as I bring that power bank. Body construction on this is a IPX8 waterproof level. It's got, like I talked about, the magnetic bottom. The one thing about this magnetic bottom versus the Olights that I've had previously is that this is not as strong a magnet as what those previous lights are. They're different lights, and they have a different charging system. So I don't know if they weakened the magnet for this setup, so you're not slamming these together perhaps. I don't know. But in my experience, everything that I've adhered this to or put this on metal-wise, it's worked just fine. It hasn't fallen off. It's stuck well. I haven't had any issues with it. In fact, I was putting some fluid in my car just the other night. Had the hood open, and I put this on the hood. I got light right where I needed it to, and had no problems with it coming off. So that's another thing I really value out of these lights, is that magnetic bottom is killer. Pocket clip, we already talked about that. It works really well. This will clip to the brim of your hat, and now you got hands free. In fact, the other evening I was out bow hunting rabbits. I did get a rabbit, and by the time I got everything done, got up to it, it was dark. So to skin it, no light whatsoever. To gut it, get the meat off of it. So what I did, I took this out, adhered it, I keep saying that word. I put it on the brim of my hat, and I used that to give me the light that I needed. Now, on to the one thing I do not like about, not the light per se, but the clip. And what I'm talking about specifically, get my knife out here so I can point to it, is see this right here. See that 90 transition right there, the tip of the knife? Sometimes what I'll notice is that gets hung up in my pants when I'm clipping that to my pants. Is it a showstopper? No. Is it something I'd like to see maybe a solution come up with? Yes. Now, that said, when I'm using it on my hat, on the brim of my hat, I don't seem to notice that like I do on my pants. And I think it has to do with just the softer construction of the pant material versus the brim of a hat, where it's a little more rigid. And so I think it takes that a little bit better. That's the one criticism that I can give this light. It comes with this little bag, kind of a cool little bag if you're into that thing. It does come with a lanyard. Personally, I've never used that, don't really care to. I just like the more of the straightforward, minimal approach to this. What we're gonna do now, I haven't water tested this yet. We're going to go do that now and see how it handles it. All right, gonna drop this one in there for 20 minutes. See how it does. All right, 2.5 minutes left. Looks like we're still going strong. All right, there we go. Still functioning good. Just dried off. So let's see, I do not see any water inside the actual light. I don't see anything on the inside there. That looks nice and dry. Looks like we're good. Drop test next. Got the flashlight on. We're gonna go to about waist high here. Whoop. Okay, it just went off. Hit right on the tail cap, and there it goes. Dropping it kind of jiggles it off in some cases. Looks like it's just hitting just right, I guess. But it survived all those drops. On the cement, waist high. I like it. There you have it, the Olight S1R Baton for an EDC light, guys. This is a fantastic little light. A lot of power, very small footprint. The only thing I would improve on it is that clip going in the pocket. I can learn to live with that. given all the other positive features on this, but that is something I would like to see improved. But overall, I highly, highly recommend this one. Love the rechargeable aspect of it on an EDC light. Love the power. Love the, you can put it on here on the hat, put it up here on the hat so you can adjust the light a little bit. Love the magnet on the bottom. Man, I find so many uses for that. It's a great one. I'm going to put a link below so you guys can purchase this if you're interested. Thanks much for watching. We'll see you.